Knock at the Cabin, directed by M. Night Shyamalan, who also made Devil, Sixth Sense, and the Unbreakable trilogy. Sal, tell us about this movie.
All right, so this movie takes place in the woods. It takes place in a cabin, obviously, Knock at the Cabin. It's going to be my good dude, Jonathan Groff. Find him off of Mindhunters. Plays a real good role.
Yep, and his partner, Ben.
Yep, and his partner, Ben, who they're taking a vacation with their daughter, Wynn. Mm-hmm. Wynn's played by Kristen Cui.
Yeah.
And she's awesome. I mean, she's a sweet little girl in this movie. They're chilling. They're just enjoying their vacation. All of a sudden, these four crazy people come out of nowhere. Strangers, armed and dangerous. Come out of nowhere and knock at the cabin. Well, actually, we'll save a little bit more in-depth details for later.
Yep.
Yeah, but pretty good movie because they come in trying to prevent the apocalypse.
Yeah.
And they kind of throw it on Jonathan and his partner, Ben.
Yep.
And it kind of goes crazy from there. That's pretty much the gist of the movie.
Yeah, it gets kind of crazy, and these strangers were basically led, that's all we're going to give you, led by Dave Bautista, who played Leonard.
Yep.
Also, we had Redmond, who was played by Rupert Grint, who is
Harry Potter.
Who is from Harry Potter.
Yep. Y'all
know him. Yep, and another person named Adriana, and then also Sabrina. So, I don't know. Me personally, I thought it was, I thought it was cool. I thought it was okay.
Well, it was a $20 million budget movie.
It was.
Box office.
Budget was $20 million. The box office was $47.8 million worldwide. So it went positive. It didn't cost so much to make. So they actually went positive and everything. And it's still going. It's going to be in theaters for like another week or two.
Yep.
If you guys want to catch it after the review. But yeah. So
it's a pretty good movie, guys. As far as what I considered or what my rating, I'm going to go ahead and put it at an 8 out of 10. Okay. Just found out recently this movie is a rated R movie. So that kind of like messes with my rating because when I walked out of that movie theater, I really thought it was PG-13.
Yeah, I thought it was PG-13. They pulled away from a lot of the scenes that we're going to describe, in the spoiler section to make it rated R. They had no rated R scenes that I could see. Maybe one scene. It was more towards the end, but still, it was like, it's a head scratcher why they made it rated R. I think they really wasted the potential of what they could have had with a rated R movie, and that's why I'm giving it honestly a 6 out of 10.
Ooh.
I thought that the acting was good, but the movie itself, I thought it kind of bored me. I was kind of going to sleep there a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought the premise of the movie was kind of basic. I thought they could have done more with it.
Yeah, I mean, you're not lying. Because, again,
I respect your score. I just think, to me personally, I was just kind of, I don't know.
Well, again, I'm saying the finding out just recently, I'm talking about minutes before this review, finding out that it's rated R really just affects me, because, and that 8 can really come down to a 7 because of the fact that when I walked out of there, I'm thinking it's a PG-13.
Yeah.
So you're telling me it's a rated R movie and you didn't go all out? You didn't really give me, a good bloody scene. You didn't see,
could have had a lot of stuff.
Like, really, you didn't see much as far as action goes.
Right.
There was a lot of scenes that they're doing a lot of just yapping away, and you're sitting there damn near falling asleep. So it's...
And that's why I also gave him a score, too. Once we get in the spoiler, kind of let you guys know that there's a couple scenes where I'm just like, all right, can you explain a little bit more on that?
Yeah.
Because it was kind of just, this event's going on. This is why this event's happening. This is why we're doing this. But it didn't really explain too much more on the why part to me, which, again, I'll get more into the spoiler on. But, yeah.
Yep. And it's a funny twist because, again, this is Jonathan who plays Eric, on a vacation with his partner, Andrew.
Yep.
And basically they're given the decision to make it. They're given the burden of making a decision that's going to save the world.
Yep.
Or not. It's their choice, and I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave the rest for the spoilers. But I mean, that's a crazy twist to things. As far as who's going to control the outcome of what's going to happen tomorrow.
Yep, for sure. So I think we're ready to get into spoilers on this one.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's a bunch of stuff we got to talk about, guys. Stay tuned, If you don't want to see the spoilers and you want to see the movie first, please hit the like button and subscribe. And we'll catch you guys on the next video.
Share.
Okay? Yep. But those of you who are staying, let's get to spoilers.
Alright, so, what you really think?
Like I said, I don't know, guys. I'm still keeping this a 6 out of 10, mainly because there was one scene in the movie where they're kind of describing, these guys are kind of 4 horsemen, whatever, of this movie. M. Night Shyamalan always has some type of crazy stuff going on with his movies, which just was crazy. But there was a scene in there where they're explaining why they're doing this. Like, oh, we had visions, and we kept having the visions. And this is why we're here. This is why we made this weapon. This is why we're here. We have to give you a choice. If you choose wrong, we're going to chop one of us to death or whatever. But it's like, they never really went into exactly why, to me, like, why big old Batista is saying, I have to do this. Just because you had a vision?
Yeah.
Like, somebody like...
visions.
Persistent visions, but it's like, okay, because you crazy and you having visions, you're going to do it exactly as it is. Like, I don't know, I guess I wanted more of I know he's like, I'm doing it for my kids, because he was a teacher in the movie.
Right.
I'm doing this for my kids. I want them to live. I keep seeing them die over and over again. I guess that's a pretty good reason.
And we're talking about the 4 strangers that come and ruin Eric and Andrew's vacation.
Yes. You got Harry Potter, you got Batista, And
then you have these 2 other females.
Adriana and Sabrina, I believe. And they're pretty good actors. Like I said, everybody acted really well to me personally. But I just think that there's a little more explanation that needed to be had. And then also, I don't know. I just thought it was just boring. I don't know. Like, especially again, finding out this is rated R, they could have done so much more.
Oh my God. Where was the action, man? Like,
this
where
is
was
M.
the
Night Shyamalan. Yeah, this is M. Night Shyamalan, where we're used to all his movies being psycho.
Yeah.
And this was like on the verge of psycho, but it wasn't really. They had scenes in there, of course, like where, okay, so they gave the 2 couples a choice, which was Andrew and Eric, which was, you have to choose one. And I guess they gave one the choice too, but she wasn't, You have to choose one of your, you, the girl, or, one of y'all to die to save the world.
You basically have to sacrifice
somebody
in your family. Who's he going to be? Is he going to be, daddy number 1, daddy number 2, or the baby girl?
And every time they answered no, one of the, we'll call them the 4 horsemen, would die. And so obviously our boy Redmond died first. Somehow, man, he had to die first. He was the anger of them all, and later on we find out actually him and, was it Andrew, had a connection, or Andrew thinks they had a connection. To where they were in a bar, and he comes up and he hits him with a bottle, and Andrew calls this, oh, y'all are here at the cabin torturing us because we're gay.
Right.
And they're, because they're, they're a couple, him and Eric. And I felt like he was just pulling at straws here, just to kind of...
Well, again, whenever they kill themselves, they're releasing the plagues onto the world. So, like, Redman goes in there, he kills himself.
Well, he don't kill himself.
Well, he don't kill himself. He sacrifices himself and his group.
Up.
And apparently, what happened? I think tsunami started happening.
Tsunami started happening when he died. And he's not just getting chopped up by no knife. They got these crazy weapons that they built because they saw it in a vision, and they're like, it has to go exactly as this. Which again, they don't explain who tells them it has to be exactly this way. Just because they saw it in a vision every time, they're like, okay, we know we have to do this and that because we saw it in the vision.
They're like prophets.
They're prophets or whatever, but I'm like, okay, who spoke to you and said, this is exactly how it has to go? It'd be different if it was like, he said it, and we're like, who's he?
Right.
But they never said nothing about nothing else. They're just like, we saw it this way, this is how it has to go.
Yeah, I can't recall them sitting there saying that God spoke to us or anything like that. They just said that, hey, we've been seeing visions.
Yeah, Adriana kept saying, oh, this person kept dying, my loved one kept dying, so I have to save them, and it's like, okay, but how do you know this is exactly what you have to do, exactly how it has to go?
Yeah.
Like, I do know when they first all met up, they're like, hey, this was how it happened in a vision. I saw you coming from the road or whatever. Or, Batista, I saw you at your truck, exactly like in a vision. Oh, cool. And I'm just like, I don't know. It didn't
add up to you.
Didn't add up. Didn't really. I didn't like it like that.
You needed a more solid backstory for it.
Needed more solid backstory. Needed more. needed more of a lot of things. And again, find out it's rated R. Find out they could have done a lot of this stuff.
Yep.
Kind of was a bummer as well. But the acting was awesome. Batista played his role. I thought he was awesome in the movie. You liked your boy,
Jonathan,
Eric, who was Jonathan Groff. I thought they did really good. But, you know, I thought it was a really good premise. You know, they kind of, again, they had the four horsemen, but in here they were kind of a nurture, you know, malice, healing, and also guidance. And, you know, I thought that was pretty cool how they all had because all their personalities showed that, and everything they did showed that, because you had a nurse, you had a cook, you had a teacher, and you had some jackass, I guess, because, you know what I mean? So.
Well, I think he was, if I'm not mistaken, he was like the driver for ambulance.
Oh, Redmond?
Wasn't his badge wasn't his badge like the first EMP, whatever they're called.
He was.
And these guys again, they're armed and dangerous. They're strangers.
Yeah.
They're not crazy. They're not psychos. They don't want to die. Like that to me, I think is a big deal, because whenever Red goes down to release the plagues, you know, they're begging Andrew and Eric to please make a decision.
Right.
And
that's true.
That's kind of the reason why I really enjoyed Jonathan's performance as far as acting, because he really showed me the transition from "get out of my house, you crazy people, leave me alone" to "I understand. I understand." You know, he believed it, and in the end, sacrificed himself.
Or was it the concussion that he got?
You got me with that. You got me right there.
Because after that, he hit his head. I believe he was he trying to get away or something?
I think he was trying to wrestle with them.
Right, and then he popped his head back. And it was all an accident, by the way. They don't want to hurt these people.
No.
They don't want to hurt them at all. They just want them to make a decision so that everyone can live.
The whole world.
The whole world can live. Because if they don't make a decision, the whole world is destroyed. I mean, they're all going to die. All these plagues are going to happen. And their family's going to be the only one left alive to see all this destruction happen. So it's kind of one of those things.
It's one of those things where it's like I said in the beginning, it's a crazy twist, because you have a two-man couple making a decision based off of experiences that they show throughout the movie that they've had with the world not accepting that they're gay.
Right.
And then they're given the ultimatum that, hey, kill someone in your family and save the rest of the world. We're like, why the should I save the world when they've been mean to me my whole life? My own parents didn't accept me.
Yeah.
So it's like, why should I even, save the world? So in that kind of way, I liked it, the psychology, I guess, the where it was going, but it really wasn't one of those movies that kept me on my edge of the seat,
Yeah.
That was my biggest thing.
And I liked what you brought up, how they were like, hey, it's been us against the world this whole time. Now you're telling me to choose one of my people or the world. I'm going to choose my people. We've been fighting all this time, because we are a gay, we're together, because we're that, they are against us this whole time, even our parents, like you said. And that's why the character Andrew, you talk a lot about Eric, but I think Andrew, he had a reason to be angry, he was like he showed a lot of their strengths. In a family, you have someone, usually, it can be both, but sometimes there is that one person that has all the strength, the person that'll fight for your family. That person, your mom or dad might be, it's okay, but the other, the mom or dad might be like, I'm about to go in there, I'm fighting for my kid. And that, to me, was Andrew. He was like, I'm fighting for my family, forget all this. Plus, he saw Eric had a concussion. He's like, don't say nothing else. You got a concussion. I'm going to fight for us. Like I've been doing this whole time, because it showed that he kind of got got gun training, once he bought the gun, because after that whole incident with who he thinks is Redmond, we don't know if it was him. Whooped. He got whooped, and he thinks it was him, but we don't know if it was him. He had his hat down. We didn't see his face, so technically we don't know. But he got whooped, so that's when he went into gun training.
Got a little pea shooter.
Yeah. Then he learned how to fight.
Leaves in his truck, unloaded. Clip not even loaded.
In the middle of nowhere.
Oh my gosh, I was like,
at a cabin with no phone service. I mean, maybe he thought, I guess, you're going on vacation, you think you're safe, but...
But who don't even load the clip.
Yeah.
He had to sit there and load the freaking clip, bullet by bullet, and then put it in the gun. I was like, oh my god.
Which was also cheesy too, because all of a sudden this probably expensive, lock that he has.
Oh,
was a fingerprint.
Yeah.
All of a sudden it doesn't work. He's like, I know it's suspense, the movie, but I'm like, come on.
I was like, really?
Yeah. And then again, I didn't really feel like they were in danger, because at the very beginning they're like, oh, we're not going to kill you. So they're all doing all this wrestling and stuff. Yeah. I'm like, you're not going to die. I mean, they're not going to kill you. They said they're not going to kill you. So, like, when this scene happened where he's wrestling for the gun, I'm like, why is he even, like, I don't know, running? And I don't know. I just thought it was too inconsistent for me. And like I said, it kind of put me to sleep. But
not a good, solid story. And I feel that. I feel that, because you want everything to kind of tie in. Yes. You want to understand everything. And they really didn't give you that.
I can see your side, too, though. Yeah. I can see, your score, and, you can give it 8 out of 10.
Right. I gave it an 8 out of 10. But again, after seeing that it was rated R, and me walking away from the movie theater like, oh, that was a pretty good PG-13 movie. Like, no, that just doesn't cut it for me. So that 8 became a 7.
Yeah.
Because it's like, man, I would have enjoyed more blood. Mm-hmm. They made these real cool weapons, homemade weapons, awesome, and you didn't even get to see them in action.
Big weapons. I'm like, what are they about to do with this thing? What? It's about to be like 5 people coming in to rescue them, and then they're just really cool things that they saw in the vision that they're like, it has to be made just like this because we saw it.
Yep.
I don't know.
So overall, what do you say? Watch it? Don't watch it? What are you gonna recommend the audience?
To me, don't watch it. Don't waste your money. Wait for it to come out on Netflix or something. That's me. But Sal?
When you say it like that, I mean, nowadays you're right. Yeah, just go ahead and save your money. I mean, really, just wait for it to come out on Netflix, on HBO, whatever it's gonna be.
Yeah, not really a cinematic thing you gotta see.
Nah, you don't save your money.
Yeah, it should be on Paramount or something real soon. Save your money.
Yep. Good acting, but not worth going on. I mean, if you're just looking for a movie, you want to take your girl out on a nice date, you want to go watch a movie, go watch it. But if you're looking for a good movie to go watch, this is not it. Wait for another movie to come out.
Wait for another movie. You might like it. I had a couple friends that did like it. But overall, me personally, I say don't waste your money.
All right.
Wait for Netflix.
Yeah. Right. And with that, guys, that brings us to the conclusion of this review. Like, comment, subscribe, you know the deal. And this is from another perspective.
See you later, guys.
Peace.
I walk for miles inside this pit of danger, a place where